True Plays.
Hello YouTube, True Marvellous here, your Million G Gamer. Welcome to another True Plays. Today I'm bringing you a game called Restless Night on the Xbox One. It's out now as we speak. I believe it's also available on PlayStation as well. It is priced, at least on Xbox, at £4.19 in the UK, $4.99 in the US, and $4.99 in the European regions. Now, what we have with Restless Night is a very, very simple game. It is a twin stick shooter, and the visual style at least, is trying to replicate a very, very old, maybe probably an early arcade game, a very early home computer kind of thing. And to that effect, it does a really good job. Having played on those machines myself back in the day, it does a pretty decent replication of that. So you have two modes to the game. You have arena, which is survive as long as you can, and you have the actual story mode or campaign mode, as it were. So we're just going to jump into that, and I'm just going to quickly show you what the game's like. It's a very simple one, this. It's not very complicated, in all honesty. So we're going to start a new game. The story is you've died or something, and to get a second life to their return to the kingdom living, you have to kill a lot of monsters and survive. And you do that by moving around with the left stick and shooting with the right stick. That's a good start, and that will be left in. That's the first time it's done that, but it's done it. So what's an all coverage here? You see what I see. That's yeah. Let's start this again. New game. Skippy, skippy, skip. As you can see, the level layout is different this time, because it's randomly generated. So as I was saying before, a big error interrupted me. Left stick controls your character, right stick controls the direction you shoot. As shooting goes and moving goes, it's pretty accurate, and you do have full 360-degree fire. It doesn't just work on the regular 8 directions. You can fine-tune it ever so slightly. As you can see, I'm gradually changing the arc of fire there, so it is quite accurate. It's done it again. Wow. I did play through this game entirely the other day, and it didn't do this at all, but no, this is what's happening. So I have no clue what is going on at the moment with this game. It is not liking something that I am doing, even though what I'm doing is how the game's meant to be played. You know what I think it's doing? It's not losing. Okay. Let's see if this clears it up. You shouldn't have to do this. It seems to have not deleted my Oh, I'll need to. I bet I can't do it now. I'm leaving all this in, guys, because this is what you need to see. I mean, this is the game you're going to be buying. These are the problems you could encounter. I'm not going to hide that from you. I do value showing you an honest experience and appraisal of any game that I play. This is probably going to sync with the cloud now. I don't want it to do, but I can't prevent it from happening. Oh, it's not. Okay. Oh, it has. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Error in action number 1 of async event. System event for object Xbox event manager. Do not know what that means. Okay. Righty then. Right, let's try what I was going to try originally. Again, you shouldn't have to do this. That's not what I want to do. Do that, and I want to delete from everywhere. I want to delete that reserve space as well. I don't know why things reserve space. Let's say the other day I played through this game, completed it, not an issue. Today we have issues. I wonder if it's been patched. If it crashes again, that's something I will check. It doesn't seem to be deleting my save. It seems to be keeping the same, and I think that's maybe what's confusing it. Okay. So, as I was saying, if it does it again, it's very accurate in its shooting. That is one good thing about it. You basically go through 5 waves, you fight a boss, the information on your screen, top left is your health bar, there a heart there, and each of the kind of shotgun cartridges, I call them, is a health bar, and you take damage obviously when you bump into enemies or with some bullets. It seems to have solved the issue. I thought it was that. Bottom right information, we have enemies in the wave, so I've killed 8 out of 15 enemies currently. And the bottom left information is the amount of waves that there actually is to progress the level. And that's pretty much it. You kill that number of enemies, the level ends, you jump down the well, and you're on to level 2. Graphically, it's very basic, but it's supposed to be basic. It's supposed to be replicating a very early home computer or very, very early rudimentary arcade machine. And to that effect, it does really, really well. The one thing I don't like, and I never like this in any game, so I'm not singling this game out particularly, is CRT filters. CRT TVs didn't look like this, and I just don't think it... I understand why it's in there, because it's trying to replicate the old look, but I never think it works, and an option to turn it off would be nice, although that option sadly isn't present. So we're starting off with just basic enemies. As you can see, more enemies do present themselves over the probably like first 15 levels, I think it is, but then you're pretty much stuck in the same loop of enemies, and just numbers of enemies does increase and increase and increase. And there lies in the game's biggest issue. I think I got to about 20-ish before a massive problem did arise. As you can see, the default weapon, which is what I'm firing now, takes about 2 shots to kill most enemies. Other than those bats, it's about 2 shots each at least to take out an enemy. And there's obviously quite a lot of enemies. The rate of fire of that shot is not very high at all. Now, the game's been quite kind to me so far, as the levels are randomly generated, obstacles are randomly generated too, and you can get some very nasty configurations where it's very difficult to move around. And obviously with the number of enemies on the screen as well, and your lack of firepower to handle them, it does become pretty problematic. And to me, it becomes a complete wall to progression. You can't really progress past a certain point. Luckily, because this is a Chili Dog interactive game, there is a cheat code you can activate, which I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, but if you look it up, you'll definitely find it. It's definitely on True Achievements, and it probably will be elsewhere as well, but it just grants you invincibility and you can't die. And that is the only way you really can complete the game, in all honesty. You just can't progress because there's just too many enemies to kill, and your little pea shooter of a weapon doesn't do anything. I mean, there is weapon pickups, but they are few and far between, and they don't last an awful long time. A grenade is probably the best thing in the game. It just nukes everything. But I mean, as a twin stick shooter goes, it's it's actually, you know, it's actually alright. A lot of people are going to be put off by the visual style, but this is a stylistic choice by the game developers. They have come to replicate this style of game in this kind of era. So, to that end, they've done well. I don't think these guys can't do graphics, because they probably can. Now, one big graphic thing you may notice is you see the boss character there is encased in a big giant black rectangle. Well, all the enemies are encased in that. If you look at this little minion guy, when he runs over the blood, he's got a rectangle around him as well, just that it's obviously a much smaller scale. And that was an early way they worked around a tribute clash on old computers, where sprites, or well, they weren't sprites at that time, but the actual characters were very hard to differentiate from the backgrounds, or colours didn't like to be next to certain other colours, and they meshed together and clashed. It was called colour clash or tribute clash. An easy way to get around that was the one colour that didn't clash with anything was black. So they encased their characters in a big black block. Now, I say, whilst it doesn't look the prettiest thing in the world, that obviously worked with the limitations of the machines. And again, don't get me wrong, this is trying to replicate one of those machines, and that's why they have most likely done it. I can't say for certain that's why they've done it, but because of the age of the game they're trying to replicate here, I would be very surprised if that's not the case. I'm sure these guys know how to not make characters clash with the backgrounds or the rest of the graphics on a modern day computer or console. But it is quite pronounced there, so I honestly think that is meant to be the case and not just developers being super lazy. But overall, it's an alright game. You know, it's pretty much like, I think it's 30 waves to complete the game. I think it is anyway. But it's literally, it's just literally this. Single screen combat, enemies become more numerous, the obstacles get in the way a lot more. Every 5 levels you have a boss which spews out these kind of lasers and spews out ads. And that's your game. That's your game. Cheat codes is going to be a very easy achievement list, a very easy completion, very easy platinum trophy if it's got a platinum, or it's going to be an easy trophy list. If you didn't complete this without a cheat code, kudos to you, but honestly, I mean, I'm not going to show you that far in this video, but you do get to about level, I'd say 20, and the enemies, for me anyway, were far too numerous. Your gun just couldn't cope with the volume of them on the screen, and it just became totally ridiculous. But like I say, thankfully there is a cheat code which makes the game accessible to everybody, so at least everybody can enjoy it and complete the game. So I'm going to leave that there for this one. I do recommend you pick it up if you are an achievement hunter. If you're not an achievement hunter, then it's still a cheap title. You will get some enjoyment out of it. And if you do want a real challenge and you think you are a twin-stick shooting god, then it is definitely going to be one to challenge you to complete without using the cheat codes that are available. So if you enjoyed the video, I would love it if you could take the time to thumbs up the video, leave a comment, and even a subscription, because the majority of you who watch the videos are not subscribed. Subscriptions is completely free, and it will obviously notify you if you hit the bell when I do upload new videos, which are quite regular. I don't have a set schedule, but they are usually regular uploads of new games for Xbox. So if you did enjoy it, you do all that stuff for me to help with the YouTube algorithm, that would be amazing, guys. But until the next one, I will see you later.